Tonight, a family from Enmity County is speaking out after a verdict was reached in a hit-and-run accident that happened last April. 3 on your sides, Teddy Reedy has their reaction and joins us from the steps of the Enmity County Courthouse.
Just behind these doors here at the Enmity County Courthouse, a jury found Cody Rollinson not guilty earlier this week. Rollinson was accused in causing the ATV accident that killed Jordan Hill earlier this spring. Hill's family left reeling.
Shocked. I was shocked. Because you have all this evidence, facts, and he still was found not guilty.
April 6, 2025 will always be a day the Hill family remembers forever. It's been 9 months since 10-year-old Jordan Hill was involved in a deadly crash that shook the small town of Gloucester. Shortly after the crash, Rollinson was slapped with 2 charges, the first being aggravated DUI and the second felony leaving the scene of an accident. Rollinson was found not guilty of both charges Wednesday. After the verdict was announced, Hill's family was left stunned.
Right now I'm still crushed, but somehow I still have faith in the justice system. I just felt that this justice system here just failed us because they had all the evidence. It was all presented in front of them. They had it. I don't understand why and how this could even happen.
Wanda Brown, Hill's mother, says her and her family are still very much grieving the loss of Jordan.
It's been hard. First Christmas, first Thanksgiving, everything is just, it still seems like a dream. We broken, we lost. We have a home, but it's empty, it's quiet.
Ever since Jordan Hill was laid to rest last April, his family has been seeking justice. Now that a not guilty verdict has been announced, Hill's family has to find ways to move forward.
Well, I still definitely want to get justice. So I feel like we should still post him on platforms and just make him known, so they won't let this die down.
The family believes there were a few jurors that knew about the case and should have not been allowed to be on the jury, but we have not been able to confirm those details. Hill's family says even though this was not the verdict they were looking for, they will continue to fight and seek justice for Jordan. Outside the Enmity County Courthouse, Teddy Reedy, 3 on your side.
In Virginia, a nurse sits behind bars after, in some instances, newborn black babies were found with serious injuries, broken bones. Enrico Doctors Hospital says staff found 3 babies with, quote, unexplainable fractures. 26-year-old Aaron Strotman is charged with malicious wounding and felony child abuse. My next guest is Dr. Danish Ali from Archpoint Pain Institute. He says these allegations are true. If true, she should have not been allowed to work after she was suspended the first time and they brought her back.
First of all, your thoughts on this case and just how horrible it is that a nurse, someone in your profession, would harm a child like that, a newborn.
Yeah, Isaiah, very disturbing news indeed. Our first, the oath that we take is do no harm, right? And so when I hear of stories like this is a truly disrupting and really sad, shocking news that I hear from somebody who we would help, or we would hope is helping the child, somebody who's in the NICU where they're sick, they've got other things going on. The last thing you want to worry about is your nurse, somebody who you trust, doing harm to a child. And so I am very saddened to hear this news, and I hope that this person is not able to practice medicine if this is truly, in fact, this person was causing harm to innocent children and babies.
Now, we know she was accused initially by the hospital internally when they said she may have harmed 3 other children, but then a year passed by, she was suspended, a year passed by, and they brought her back. Was that a mistake?
It was, Isaiah. I mean, as long as you have somebody who has potentially caused harm, this should have raised some flags for the hospital. They should have taken more initiatives and perhaps not brought this person back. She was on administrative leave for 1 year. She was paid supposedly around for all this time as well that she was gone. And then the hospital did its job of checking to see if there was something. I just don't think they did enough enough. I don't think they did enough investigation. I know that hospitals have ethical boards and committees. Sometimes, you know, when these sorts of bigger allegations happen, it's the hospital's responsibility to make sure that they either have a third party, somebody else that's reviewing this to make sure that everything is checked off and there was no malicious harm that was involved in this.
From your research, what exactly did she do to some of the children?
From what I could see and from some of the x-rays of these children that were obtained, what I saw was she was not handling them in the right way and maybe being too rough with them, or maybe pulling on a leg or something that causes either a dislocation or a fracture or something. So, you know, again, we don't have any strong evidence, and these are all accusations and allegations that we have so far, but I think it's the hospitals and even the now federal government's job to really research this and make sure that this person does not practice and does not harm anybody else if this was truly in fact the case.
And I want to make it clear what prosecutors are saying. You're saying that she may have handled them roughly. They said she maliciously, meaning she intended to wound, harm a child with felony child abuse and neglect in connection with an incident that took place in November 2024. And of course, now there are possibly 7 other children. So the prosecutors there in Virginia are not saying she handled them rough. They're saying she maliciously, with intent, tried to harm these children. And parents are just upset. And some of those parents said the hospital system failed them. Would you agree with that?
I would, Isaiah. I think that unless we have other third parties and other people that have investigated this telling us, yes, this person is safe and there was no malicious harm that was involved in this on purpose, you know, if they cannot prove that, then this person should not have been allowed back into the hospital setting.
And more breaking news out of Henrico, where a nurse accused of abusing premature infants at a local hospital has now pled no contest to several charges, including abuse. Our Melissa Hippolyte was in the courtroom today and shares what we've learned.
Former Henrico Doctors Hospital NICU nurse Erin Strotman pled no contest to 9 different charges of felony child abuse. Now, she was originally facing 20 counts of felony child abuse and malicious wounding related to incidents involving 9 different babies who were injured in the NICU at Henrico's Doctors Hospital, stemming all the way back to 2022. Now, the no contest pleas mean that Strotman contends she never intended to hurt the babies, but she acknowledges there is sufficient evidence to find her guilty. As CBS 6 previously reported, multiple babies were found with broken bones in the NICU in the late summer of 2023, and Strotman was placed on paid administrative leave at the time by the hospital. An investigation by Child Protective Services at that time found child abuse, but a perpetrator could not be identified. Strotman was ultimately brought back to work, and within weeks, 3 more babies suffered broken bones. Strotman left out a side door and did not talk to the media, so we were unable to talk to her. None of the victims' families wanted to talk to us either. Now, during the plea hearing, prosecutors showed video of Strotman caring for a couple of the babies. In the videos, you could see her pushing down on 2 of the babies' legs forcefully, and you could see her holding one of the babies while she was sitting down and then falling over onto her side while still holding the baby. Families cried while the videos were shown in court.
You haven't seen what she did to my baby on that camera. She is evil.
Strotman's attorney said Strotman was using a technique on the babies to relieve gas that she had learned from other nurses in the hospital, but the Commonwealth said that method was not supposed to be used on NICU babies. They also said Strotman loved being a nurse and never intended to cause harm. Commonwealth's attorney Shannon Taylor said all of the babies in the plea were mishandled, and her office felt it was appropriate to present this plea to obtain justice for all 9 of the babies. In terms of sentencing, the Commonwealth is asking the judge to impose a sentence of no more than 3 years behind bars. Commonwealth's attorney Shannon Taylor said that all of the families agreed to that term in the plea agreement. Now, the sentencing will be held on June 5th here in Henrico County at 11 a.m. In Henrico, I'm Melissa Hippolyte for CBS 6.
News tonight, parents are suing a Georgia school district claiming staff ignored their son's emergency medical plan during a seizure that led to his death. The lawsuit accuses the Columbia County schools and 3 employees of failing 11-year-old Aiden Hooks. His mother says this isn't about money, it's about change.
Aiden was light, he was laughter, he brought joy and a special relationship to everybody he encountered.
Aiden Hooks fought for his life before he was even born. Doctors diagnosed him with multiple severe disabilities, including complex heart conditions, liver cancer, and epilepsy.
He always had a determination to thrive and beat the odds. He didn't look like his diagnosis.
But everything changed on November 3rd, 2023.
We need EMS 1018 Uchi Creek Elementary School. We have a 11-year-old male in cardiac arrest, AED in progress.
The 59-page lawsuit describes what the family says went wrong. At 2:30 that afternoon, a school employee gave Aiden an iPad.
It was written in his IEP that he was not to have an iPad, not just for behavior purposes, but his iPad could cause, having an iPad could trigger him having a seizure, especially if he's on YouTube all day.
At 3 p.m., Aiden's assigned aide left the classroom, though the family says she was supposed to continuously monitor him. 10 minutes later, Aiden had a severe seizure. The lawsuit alleges he was ignored for nearly a minute while staff and students stepped over him.
The teacher actually stepped over him twice, along with another student, and it was a couple minutes before anybody realized that Aiden was having a seizure before he was given help.
School staff called 911, but the parents claimed the response contradicted Aiden's written emergency medical plan. The plan told staff to avoid CPR and AEDs unless he stopped breathing or his heart stopped because of his heart condition. The lawsuit alleges school employees performed CPR and used an AED, even though Aiden had a pulse and was still breathing.
If they're doing CPR on him and he's breathing, they need to stop. You know, this can cause more harm than good. I was like, which is listed in his medical document.
The family says they watched video of the incident, but according to their attorney, that video is now gone.
The school's official response to us was that the video had been deleted. Now, they were aware of what happened on November 3rd of 2023. They were aware of the importance of that video surveillance, particularly because they had already showed it to Aiden's parents.
Aiden suffered a severe brain injury and was in a coma for days. Doctors later said he was in a vegetative state. The complaint says Aiden died on February 23rd, 2025, 15 months after the initial incident. The family says his death resulted from what happened at school.
I feel like they robbed my son of having a future that he deserved. They failed my baby. They did, and nobody deserves that.
The lawsuit also alleges Aiden's aide repeatedly violated his medical plan, giving him an iPad on multiple occasions and placing him next to windows, which could trigger seizures. The family says after the incident, district employees told them to unenroll Aiden because the school was losing money on his services. For this family, it's about making sure this doesn't happen again.
Change needs to happen. It has to happen for these kids to be protected, especially in these classrooms.
The lawsuit accuses the school system of violating Aiden's constitutional rights, disability discrimination, and gross negligence. We reached out to the district but have not heard back yet. But they did respond through court filings. They claim they are without knowledge on the video being deleted and deny allegations of Aiden being near a window as discipline and being given an iPad. We'll continue following this lawsuit as it makes its way through the court system.
Yeah, you could hear the tears throughout the courtroom. It was an emotional day for the entire family as many of them walked up and said statements about their loved one in front of the judge. A family.
Oh, Jesus. I can't describe. Sometimes I just stand in my mirror and cry.
Struggling to find the words.
God, I just can't. I don't know.
Both inside and outside the courthouse.
He was a loving person. And this has affected us so much.
Today, a judge sentenced a former DeKalb County police officer following a shooting that happened in Stone Mountain in November 2022. Prosecutors say Russell Mathis and another officer responded to a call about a stolen car parked in front of Mirando Solomon's home. They knocked on the front door and it swung open, so they went inside. When Mathis opened the bedroom door, the DA's office says Solomon threw a phone. Mathis reportedly believed it was a knife and shot and killed Solomon.
Mr. Mathis, from the beginning, was devastated by what happened. This is something that happened in the blink of an eye.
This case is not only about what happened in one moment, it's about a lifetime of moments my daughter will never have with her father.
Part of the DeKalb County judge's sentence today included 10 years of probation, the first 2 years on house arrest, 500 hours of community service, and the judge said Mathis can never be a police officer again. The judge also ordered Mathis to pay restitution to the victim's family.
I couldn't imagine. He's not here to watch his daughter grow up. He's gone.
Now, he entered what's called an Alford plea. Now, typically that means the defendant maintains their innocence, but knows the prosecution has enough evidence on them to result in a conviction if they take it to trial. Now, the DA also sending a statement to us tonight saying it hopes that the plea gives Solomon's family some measure of justice and peace. Reporting live in DeKalb County, Molly Oak, 11 Alive News.
All right, Molly, hopefully that's some closure for this family tonight. Thank you.
Month, day, year. Mark them up, March 21st. Yep. We're gonna get you out here. So when you get out, I'm gonna pull you out. I want you to put your hands on top of the car. Look at this. How am I getting up with? What are we doing? Put your hands up here. Put your hands up here. I'm fighting. Bro, what? I will fucking kill you. You understand me? Bro, what the fuck? Yes, sir. You gonna kill me if you fucking reaching for a gun? That's why. Nobody's do not move your hands. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bro, nobody was in a pool. Yes, sir. If I reach, you're gonna kill me, bro. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
On WTHR Plus, I'm Jenny Runovich, and we begin this evening with an Indianapolis family demanding accountability from IMPD after a viral video of a traffic stop. It shows police pull over a teenager with other people in his car. Then things escalate. Our Ella Rhodes shares the details and reaction tonight.
On Friday, IMPD says they pulled over a 17-year-old male driver at this intersection, Mithofer and 21st. They say just before that, after monitoring a student protest, they saw another juvenile male get into that same car with a firearm. Police say during the traffic stop, they found a loaded handgun, which led to one of the teens' arrest. In the video, taken by the 17-year-old driver, you see IMPD officers approach the driver's side of the car. The officer gives the 17-year-old instructions to get out of the car, turn around, and put his hands on the door. In the video, the 17-year-old asks the officers, "What am I getting out for?" Moments later, you can see an officer opens the driver door and grabs the teen's wrist. In the video, an officer then tells him, quote, "I will expletive kill you. Do you understand me?" End quote. The officer pulls the boy out of the car and starts to search him. In the video, you can hear an officer say, quote, "reaching for a gun, that's why," end quote. The mother of the 17-year-old driver, Amber Taylor, tells 13 News, quote, "He was subjected to aggressive, threatening, and terrifying language by an IMPD officer. No situation justifies threatening a child with death. The threat alone reflects a dangerous abuse of authority and a failure to uphold the standards expected of law enforcement." Taylor confirms police did not arrest her son. They arrested a different child in the car. In a statement, IMPD says, quote, "While the video does not show the entire incident, some of the language heard does not reflect the standards and values of IMPD. Accountability is essential to building trust and legitimacy with our community. An internal review is underway to determine the full circumstances of the encounter, including the statements captured on video," end quote. City County Councilor Keith Graves says he plans to bring up the video at this week's Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee meeting.
That was especially troubling, not just to me, but to members all across our community.
Councilor Graves says what's shown in the video hurts the dialogue between Indy's youth and police.
Just another layer of anger, another layer of trauma, and the fact that another young person will have to build relationships over the course of time with law enforcement. Didn't do anything good for our community where law enforcement is concerned. I don't think that one situation is an indication of our men and women in uniform.
Taylor says IMPD's statement is not enough. Quote, acknowledgement without accountability is insufficient. We continue to call for the immediate release of all body-worn camera footage related to this incident and decisive disciplinary action, including termination of the officer involved, end quote.
City Council's Committee for Public Safety and Criminal Justice will address the video at their meeting this Wednesday. They invite the public to come out as well. In Indianapolis, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
IMPD tells 13 News the officer heard in that video threatening the 17-year-old is not on leave currently. The department, however, is conducting an internal administrative review.